Hello students, hope all of you are doing well. I welcome you all to the first session of a new chapter, Quadrilaterals. It is in your geometry. I am Lakshmi, your mathematics teacher. We shall start with the first session today. In today's session, you are going to learn meaning of a quadrilateral, properties of a quadrilateral, interior angle theorem of a quadrilateral, types of quadrilaterals and parallelograms. A polygon which has 4 sides is called as a quadrilateral. So any polygon, as soon as you see, if it is having 4 sides, you can tell it is a quadrilateral. So quad means 4, lateral means side. Since it is having 4 sides, it is called as quadrilateral. A quadrilateral has 4 sides. It is 2-dimensional. That means it is a flat shaped polygon. And it is a closed figure. Polygon means it is going to be closed only. And then coming to the general properties of a quadrilateral. Why am I mentioning general? Because there are many types of quadrilaterals. So whichever type the quadrilateral is, the properties what you are going to learn now, that is the general properties, is applicable for all the types. So any quadrilateral will have 4 sides. Sides can also be told as edges. And it will be having 4 vertices. Vertices are nothing but endpoints. So B is a vertex, A is a vertex, D is a vertex and C is a vertex. So there are 4. So 4 vertices. Any quadrilateral will have 4 vertices. And the next one is a very important property where you are going to apply this in many problems to solve and find the angles. Interior angles of any quadrilateral add exactly to 360 degree. So you will be wrong if you tell interior angles add up to 360 degree. If you say add up to 360 degree, up to 360 degree it can be anything. So you should be very clear when you are telling this. Interior angles add exactly to 360 degree. That means if you add all the 4 angles of any quadrilateral, the sum will always be 360 degree. You have 2 examples here. So the 4 interior angles of this quadrilateral are 68 degree, 118 degree, 94 degree and 80 degree. If you add all this, it is going to be 360 degree only. So may it be any quadrilateral, if you add all the 4 interior angles, it will always be 360 degree. So all these are the general properties of a quadrilateral. As soon as you recognize a quadrilateral, you should be able to tell whether it is convex or concave. How can you tell that? By seeing the interior angles of the quadrilateral. You can observe here there are 2 quadrilaterals. One is called as convex and the another one is called as concave. You can observe the difference in both. There is only one difference here. Both are quadrilaterals. Why? Because they have 4 sides, 4 interior angles and 4 vertices. So these are the general properties of any quadrilateral and these both are satisfying those properties. So they both are quadrilaterals only. But what makes it a convex or a concave? You should observe the interior angles of any quadrilateral. If all the interior angles, if you consider one by one, they should be less than 180 degree each. Here angle A is less than 180, angle B is less than 180, angle C is also less than 180 degree, angle D is also lesser than 180 degree. All of you know how 180 degree looks. It will be a straight line. So it is very clear in the diagram that all these are lesser than 180 degree each. So if a quadrilateral has all the interior angles lesser than 180 degree each, then it is called as a convex quadrilateral. And here if you observe concave quadrilateral, here also there are 4 interior angles. But one angle if you see, it is greater than 180 degree. The remaining 3 angles are lesser than 180 degree. So such a quadrilateral is called as a concave quadrilateral. So a quadrilateral in which one of the interior angles is greater than 180 degree, it is called as a concave quadrilateral. Hope it is clear to you all how to recognize convex quadrilateral and concave quadrilateral. Angle sum property of a quadrilateral. When you all learned the properties of a quadrilateral, I told you all one of the general properties of a quadrilateral is the sum of all the interior angles of any quadrilateral is always 360 degree. How it is 360 degree? You can observe a quadrilateral here on the screen. ABCD is a quadrilateral. What we will do is we will draw one of the diagonals by joining the opposite vertices, that is A and C, so that we get a diagonal here. So this diagonal is dividing the quadrilateral into two triangles. All of you know what is the sum of all the three interior angles of any triangle. It is 180 degree, isn't it? So here we are getting two triangles. So the sum of all the angles of this triangle, that is ADC, triangle ADC is 180 degree, and in triangle ABC the sum of all the three interior angles is 180 degree. And when you add these two, that is 180 degree plus 180 degree, it is going to be 360 degree. That is why we tell the sum of all the interior angles of any quadrilateral is 360 degree. You should be remembering this. You will be using this while solving problems based on angle sum property of quadrilateral. Now coming to the types of quadrilaterals. Now it is clear to you all what is a quadrilateral, what is a convex quadrilateral, what is a concave quadrilateral, and the general properties of quadrilaterals. Now we shall study the classification of quadrilaterals. Quadrilaterals are basically classified into three types, that is kite, parallelogram and trapezium. So these are the main classifications of quadrilaterals. Parallelogram is further divided into three types. It is classified into three types. Those three types are rectangle, square and rhombus. So you will be studying about all these types, their properties in detail. We shall start with parallelogram. So hope it is clear to you all. Quadrilaterals is classified into three branches, that is kite, parallelogram and trapezium. Parallelogram is further classified into three more types, that is rectangle, square and rhombus. You have one more type here, that is isosceles trapezium, that is a classification of trapezium. You will learn that also. But in detail you are going to learn about parallelogram. We shall start with parallelogram now. So what is a parallelogram? A parallelogram is a quadrilateral in which opposite sides are parallel and equal to each other. So what are the properties of any parallelogram? The diagonals of parallelogram bisect each other. Here you can see the diagonals of the parallelogram are DB and AC. They bisect each other in a parallelogram. That means, suppose if this point is named as O, DO will be equal to OB. And then the other diagonal will also be bisected equally. That is, AO will be equal to OC. So this is the property, that is the first property of parallelogram. The diagonals of parallelogram bisect each other. Coming to the second one, opposite sides of a parallelogram are congruent. What do you mean by congruent? Congruent means exactly same. That means they are equal. So opposite sides, that is, if you take CD as the side which is opposite to that is AB. So the opposite sides are equal and parallel also. So DC is parallel and equal to AB. Similarly, AD is parallel and equal to BC. Since opposite sides are parallel and equal to each other, it is named as parallelogram. The next property, each diagonal bisects the parallelogram into two congruent triangles. Now for example, if I consider only AC as the diagonal, now forget about BD, you see only AC. Now this is dividing the parallelogram into two triangles, isn't it? That is ADC and ABC. So any diagonal divides the parallelogram into two congruent triangles. What do you mean by congruent triangles? Congruent triangles are exactly same. That means the corresponding sides of both the triangles are equal. Also, corresponding angles of both the triangles are also equal. You learnt about congruency in detail in your 8th standard, isn't it? So, you should be remembering that each diagonal bisects the parallelogram into two congruent triangles. Suppose if I take AC as the diagonal, then triangle ADC is congruent to triangle ABC. Suppose if I take DB as the diagonal, which are the congruent triangles then? The congruent triangles are triangle BCD and triangle DBA. These both will be congruent to each other if I consider DB as the diagonal. So you should be knowing that in a parallelogram, the diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. So the diagonals bisect each other equally. Then opposite sides are equal and parallel. After that, each diagonal bisects the parallelogram into two congruent triangles. So all these are the properties of parallelograms. You should be remembering this very clearly, only then you will be able to solve the problems based on parallelograms. If you don't know the properties, then you will find it difficult to solve and understand the question. So, dear students, it is very important to understand all the properties clearly. Because again you have classifications in parallelograms. So, whatever properties you studied here are the general properties for any parallelogram. So the types of parallelograms will also satisfy all these properties. But they will be having a few properties which are unique. That is why they are classified in 3 types. But these 4 properties, whatever you are seeing here, is applicable for all the types of parallelograms. So you can understand now in detail. Suppose if ABCD is the parallelogram, we shall apply the 4 general properties one by one and see here. Suppose if ABCD is the parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. That means if you consider angle A, then which is the angle that is opposite to angle A? Angle C. So these 2 angles are equal. Suppose if I consider angle B, which is the opposite angle? Angle D is the opposite angle. So these 2 angles are equal. So this is also one of the properties of parallelogram. Opposite angles are equal. Already you studied. Opposite sides are equal and parallel to each other. That means BC is parallel to AD and BC is equal to AD. Similarly, AB is parallel to CD and AB is equal to CD. Then coming to the adjacent angles. What do you mean by adjacent angles? Angles which are consecutive. That means next to each other. So such angles are called as consecutive angles. It can also be told as adjacent angles. So here you can see angle A and angle D are adjacent angles, which can also be told as consecutive angles. So may it be any parallelogram, the adjacent angles are always supplementary. Supplementary means you know it is 180 degree. So what can you say? Adjacent angles of parallelogram are supplementary. Which is the adjacent angle of angle D? If you take in this direction, it is C. So angle D plus angle C is also 180 degree. Similarly, angle B plus angle C is also 180 degree because they both are adjacent. Angle B plus angle A is also 180 degree. So you can say in general, adjacent angles of a parallelogram are supplementary. And opposite sides are equal and parallel to each other. That means BC is equal to AD and BC is parallel to AD. AB is equal to CD and AB is parallel to CD. Then coming to the diagonal properties, suppose if AC and BD are the 2 diagonals of this parallelogram, you can see that these are the 2 diagonals for this parallelogram and they are intersecting at the point O. So according to the properties of parallelogram, diagonals bisect each other. That means AO is equal to OC. Similarly, BO is equal to OD. Also, you should be knowing, if you take AC as the diagonal, which are the 2 congruent triangles? ABC and ADC. Suppose if I take BD as the diagonal, which are the congruent triangles? ABD and BCD. So all these properties you should remember very clearly. Only then it is going to be helpful to you all while solving problems. If you don't understand, it is going to be very difficult to solve the problems. So what you should do is, you should remember all these properties. Even when you are studying about the types of parallelogram, you should not confuse all these, because these are the general properties of any parallelogram. So may it be square, rectangle or rhombus, all these are classifications of parallelograms. So all those three types should also satisfy these properties. So you should be remembering, parallelogram will have opposite sides equal and parallel, opposite angles equal, adjacent angles are supplementary, diagonals bisect each other. Then diagonal, if you take only one diagonal, it is going to divide the parallelogram into two congruent triangles. So recall all the properties of parallelogram before we proceed to the classifications of parallelograms. The opposite sides are parallel and equal, opposite angles are equal to each other, any two adjacent angles are supplementary, diagonals bisect each other, diagonal divides the parallelogram into two congruent triangles. Coming to the first type of parallelogram, that is a rhombus. So what is a rhombus? It is basically a quadrilateral which is classified as one of the types of parallelogram. So it should satisfy all the properties of parallelogram. After that, it has some special properties that you are going to learn now. So all the four sides are congruent. This is the first property of rhombus. All the four sides are congruent. You can see all the four sides are equal. This is the first property of a rhombus. Opposite angles are congruent. That means they are equal. So angle C will be equal to angle A. Angle D will be equal to angle B. Diagonals bisect each other. That means you can see that the diagonals are intersecting at point I. That means DI is equal to IB. Then CI is equal to IA. Diagonals bisect each other. Next one, diagonals are perpendicular. You can see that there is a square mark here. That means the angle is 90 degree. So both the diagonals bisect at right angles to each other. That means they are perpendicular. That is, CI is perpendicular to BD. Similarly, AI is perpendicular to BD. So the diagonals are perpendicular. Diagonals bisect vertices. That means you know that the vertices of the rhombus here are A, B, C and D. So which are the diagonals? AC is a diagonal and the another diagonal is BD. So you should be knowing that the diagonals bisect the vertices here. That means the angle C and angle A will be bisected equally by the diagonal. So whatever measurement of DCI, that is angle DCI, will be equal to angle BCI. So these two angles will be equal because the diagonal bisects the vertices, that is the angles at the vertices here, angle C and angle A. Similarly, BD is bisected. BD will be bisecting angle D and angle B. That means angle CDI will be equal to angle ADI. Then angle ABI, this angle will be equal to this angle, that is CBI. So you should be knowing diagonals bisects vertices. And the next one is very important. Diagonals are not congruent. You know, congruent means equal. So the diagonals are not always equal. It may be equal, may not be equal, but you cannot tell generally that they are equal. So the diagonals, that is CA and BD, are not always equal. Adjacent angles are supplementary. So because it is a parallelogram, it should satisfy all the properties of a parallelogram. So adjacent angles will definitely be supplementary. So these are all the properties of a rhombus. So prominently, which are special, you should remember that. That is, diagonals bisect each other at right angle. Diagonals bisect the angles here, that is vertex angles. Angle C and angle A are bisected by AC. Similarly, angle D and angle B are being bisected by diagonal BD. Diagonals are not always equal. It may be equal or may not be equal, but you cannot tell generally that they are always equal. So diagonals are not equal in this case. And the diagonals bisect each other. That means DI is equal to IB, IC is equal to IA. So these are all the properties of a rhombus. Properties of a rectangle. All the four are right angles. That means all the four interior angles are right angles. That means they measure 90 degree each. Opposite sides are congruent. That means opposite sides are equal to each other. That is AB is equal to DC and AD is equal to BC. AB is parallel to CD and AD is also parallel to BC. Then diagonals bisect each other. AE is equal to EC. DE is equal to BE. Then consecutive angles are supplementary. Consecutive means adjacent. So angle D plus angle C are adjacent angles and their sum is always going to be equal to 180 degree. That means supplementary. Similarly, angle A and angle D are adjacent to each other. So angle A plus angle D will be equal to 180 degree. Angle A plus angle B is also equal to 180 degree. Angle B plus angle C is also equal to 180 degree. So you should be knowing that opposite sides are parallel and equal in case of rectangle. All the four interior angles measure 90 degree each. Diagonals bisect each other. And one more important property is diagonals are equal. You should be knowing this. So in parallelogram, it is not always equal. In rhombus, it is not always equal. But in rectangle, the diagonals are always equal. You should be remembering this. So these are all the properties of a rectangle. Coming to the properties of a square. A square is also a quadrilateral, which is one of the classifications of parallelogram. In a square, all the four sides are equal. You can also say all the four sides are congruent. All the four sides are congruent. That means all the four sides will be equal to each other. And all the four are right angles. All the four interior angles, you can see the interior angles here. Each angle will measure 90 degree. May it be any square of any measurement in its side. The interior angle will always measure 90 degree. All the four interior angles are 90 degree each. Coming to the diagonals, diagonals bisect each other. You can see there are two diagonals here. They bisect each other equally. So not like rectangle or a rhombus. Here all the four bisected parts are equal. You can see this will be equal to this line segment and this will be equal to this. So all the four parts of the diagonal which are being bisected will be equal to each other. This is a special property of a square. Diagonals are perpendicular to each other. What do you mean by perpendicular? The line segments stand on each other in such a way that it forms 90 degree on both the sides. So the diagonals intersect each other in such a way that it forms 90 degree angle. Diagonals bisect the vertices. You can see there are four vertices here in a square and the diagonal, for example, if I consider this diagonal is bisecting this angle. Similarly, this angle also, and if you take this diagonal, it will bisect this angle. This is 90 degree, isn't it? So this will be 45 degree and this is 45 degree. Here also 45 degree, 45 degree, 45 degree. Here also it will be 45 degree each on both the sides because the diagonal bisects the vertices. And the diagonals are congruent. Diagonals will be equal in measurement. Suppose if this diagonal is 10 centimeter, this will also be 10 centimeter. So where are the diagonals equal? Can you recall? In a rectangle it is equal and in a square it is equal. In a parallelogram, it may be equal or may not be equal. We cannot tell it will be equal always. Same with rhombus also. In rhombus, the diagonals are not always equal. But what can you say about the diagonals of square and rectangle? They are always equal. The diagonals of the square are equal. Similarly, the diagonals of rectangle are also equal. Then the consecutive angles are supplementary. This is from the general property of parallelogram. Consecutive means you know it is adjacent. So if you add these two angles, what is the measurement of this angle? 90 degree. This is 90 degree. And these both are consecutive means adjacent angles next to each other. So the sum of adjacent angles or consecutive angles is supplementary. Supplementary means 180 degree. So 90 plus 90 is 180. If you take this side also, 90 plus 90, 180. 90 plus 90, 180, and here also 90 plus 90, 180. So this is the general property of a parallelogram. May it be any parallelogram, the properties of parallelogram should be applied for all the three types and it should satisfy those. Which are the three types of parallelograms? Rectangle, rhombus, and a square. So this is about square. Dear students, you have to remember all the properties clearly without any confusions. Only then the problems are going to be easy to solve. This is for you all to understand in detail. You can pause the video and compare all the three parallelograms and see what is similar and what is different when you compare two parallelograms. I want all of you to do all these in your classwork. Write all these. And you can give the names for these parallelograms in a cyclic order. Let the letters be continuous. For example, A, B, C, D. Don't be giving some random letters. Name all these parallelograms, that is the types of parallelograms. Copy all these properties in your classwork without fail. Before copying this, you have to start from the beginning, starting from the chapter's name, quadrilaterals, and whatever you learnt about quadrilateral, that is general properties of quadrilateral, then the types of quadrilateral. After that, you will be writing the types of parallelograms. You can go through these questions and answers. This will help you all to understand the types of parallelograms in detail. So you will not be having any confusions while you are comparing parallelograms. You can make note of all these questions and answers in your classwork as well. This is how we find the difference and how we compare parallelograms. So recall once again whatever you learned today, that is quadrilateral, types of quadrilateral, general properties of a quadrilateral. Then coming to the types, you have kite, parallelogram and trapezium. We didn't learn about kite and trapezium today. We started with parallelograms in types of quadrilaterals, and parallelograms we have completed. So what is a parallelogram? What are the properties of parallelogram? Then the types of parallelograms along with their properties. I want all of you to be thorough with all these concepts before you start learning in the next session, that is continued with kite and trapezium. This will be your assignment to complete your classwork, whatever you saw today in this video. See you all in the next session. By then, I want all of you to keep your work complete. Thank you.